Good morning. Welcome to Sunday School at Home. My name is Claudette, and I appreciate you being here today. Thank you. First, I'd like you to go to the Holy Moly video on Esau and Jacob. You'll find it in the link below. Pause this video, and then when you've seen the Holy Moly one, come right back and we'll wait here for you.
Today's story is about twins, brothers Jacob and Esau. Their parents were Rebecca, and their dad was called Isaac. And when Isaac and Rebecca were married for a while, Isaac asked God for Rebecca to have a child. And God was very generous, and instead of one child, God gave them two twins. Now, Esau and Jacob couldn't be more different as twins. Esau was big and hairy and good at hunting, and he was the first because he was born first, and he was his dad's favorite. And Jacob was smooth-skinned, and he was very clever, and he was born second, and he was his mom's favorite. Even before they were born, the boys were always arguing. Were struggling together. And when they were born, Esau, who was the eldest one, came out first, and Jacob was holding on to his foot as much as say, I don't want you to be born first, I want to be born first, and holding on to his foot. Well, Jacob, as I said, Esau was born first, and his dad was very proud of him, and because he was the firstborn, and he gave him a ribbon. You see the ribbon here? And you've got it in your package, right? And then the next child that was born, he didn't get the first ribbon. He got the second ribbon. Second place ribbon. Anyway, he didn't want to have that. So Jacob was always finding ways of playing tricks on Esau. Once when Jacob was cooking a stew, Esau came home and he was really, really hungry. And he asked Jacob, can I have some of that stew, please? And Jacob said, no. Not until you give me the ribbon. Give me the ribbon that you have. Ribbon, right? So Esau gave him the ribbon, and Jacob gave him the stew, and he ate it all up. In time, their dad got very old, and he was sick, and he was blind. And he asked Esau to come and go and get him some venison and make a tasty stew. And then he promised that once he'd eaten it, he would give his blessing to Esau. And in those days, it was like giving you a will to say, okay, all I have, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to give you when I die. And in this case, it was going to give him almost everything he had, including his authority in the family. So off went Esau to get this venison, and while he did, Mum Rebecca actually overheard what her husband had said. So she said, she called her favorite son, Jacob, and she said to him, I want you to dress up as your brother and go in and see your father, and I'll make some tasty stew for him, and I want you to go in to see your father and get him to give you his blessing. So Jacob said, well, he won't know me. So she said, yes, get dressed up in his clothes and put a lambskin on your arm. And if he touches your arm, he'll think that you're Jacob, Esau. So that's what Jacob did. And he went in and told his dad that it was Esau, and he tricked his dad into giving him the blessing. So when Esau came home, and his dad realized he'd been tricked, And he told Esau all about what had happened. And Esau ran out, and you saw that in the end of the video. He ran out of the tent, and he was very, very angry. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a craft. In your package, you should have the ribbon, and then you should have this ribbon on the side too. Okay, so what you need is you need some scissors. I've got some big scissors, but maybe you've got smaller scissors. And you need some glue. Okay, now I've got one of these, but if you've got a glue stick, and you need some coloring pens, some coloring crayons. I've got some crayons here. Okay, so you need those, and you need this. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the ribbon. So maybe you want to get your mum to help you or somebody, or if you can do it, that's good too. Right, so the first thing is we're going to maybe separate the two pages. Separate them like that. We're going to cut out the number 2 ribbon first, which is this one. It's got the 2 on it, you see? So we'll cut that one first. And if you can get somebody, if you need help, somebody can help you. And if you can do it by yourself, that's good too. And then we're going to, so what have you seen anybody doing something unkind to other people? Have you seen that? Maybe at school, or maybe out with your friends, or have you ever seen somebody being unkind to somebody else? What did you think about that? Hmm? Or if they said something unkind? This is number 2, so this is the one for the second brother who was unkind, wasn't he? How does being unkind keep people from being their very best? Like if somebody is unkind, are they really number 1 if they're being unkind? Do you think? I don't think so. I think being unkind is nasty to the person who receives it, but the person who does it too. It's not good for them to be unkind. Now, if you can, on number 2, you can write on there, or you can put a picture on there. And number 2, you can put what it feels like to be number 2. Is somebody hitting, or what it feels like to be somebody who is mean. You can write on here, and you can write like somebody hitting someone, or whatever it feels like to you to be mean. Let's see if I can figure it out. So if you've got a person here, just someone push, or maybe somebody just pushing, somebody pushing someone else. That's mean too, isn't it? Eh? So this person is pushing this person away. That's mean as well. Or chasing somebody. So you can draw something on the top there. Okay, so let's cut out number 1 then, because then you'll be special. Right, and you see this is number 1, and you can see it's a little pair of scissors here, right there. And we're going to cut out this piece too, this piece up here that says love, and there's a little pair of scissors. Right, so we can do that. And in Canada, our number 1 ribbon is actually red, but in the United States, the number 1 ribbon is blue. And when I first came to Canada, I couldn't understand the difference. I couldn't understand why the number 1 ribbon was blue, and because in England, the number 1 ribbon is red too. But I went to a show down in the States, a horse show, and the number 1 ribbon was blue, so I couldn't quite figure that. But anyway, now I know the difference. In Canada, it's red. In the United States, it's blue. So now, if you want to color your ribbons, you certainly can. It's up to you. I've cut out the word that said love. It goes like this, I think. So if you want to put that there, and if you want to glue it on, so you get your glue and just put the L here, there. And that works. There we go. That works. Okay. Now this says love because God loves us. He loves the number 2 person, but he doesn't love what the number 2 person does. And they've got to learn not to behave that way, right? You can actually glue this one on there. And then maybe if your mom can make a little hole and put a ribbon through there, and then you can walk around with the number 1. But God loves number 2 people too. He just doesn't love what they do. All right? And love is God's love. God's love for all of us, whoever we are. So thank you. I'm going to say a little prayer now. And as I say, if you can maybe get your mom to put a ribbon through there, and you can wear that. If you want to stick it on top of that one, then you're welcome to do that too. Okay, so just bow your head and I'll say the prayer. Thank you, God, for loving us and making each of us your number 1. Help us love others the way you love us. Amen. And thank you. See you again next time. Bye.